Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Extinct Bricks Originals! And for this very special episode, we'll be featuring the LYKA costume Jurassic World Evolution Mattel Chialingosaurus. But before we head on with this video, this basic spoilers will be announced later on in the video. But for now, let's move on with the making of Chialingosaurus. So we're actually using here a basic stegosaur base figure. So we have here several adjustments into the length of the tail, of course the spikes and the blades. It also created a neck and also had a new head for the stegosaur that we have here. The hind legs were also lengthened as well. So we have here a mixture of equal parts of non, sag, epoxy, Pioneer, A and B. So we mix them up together, and this will be the base clay or the clay putty that we will be using to create the sculpting details on our Chialingosaurus. So we're using here several tools as well as my hands in sculpting the neck section of the Chialingosaurus. We're also going to place several clay details into the face of our Chialingosaurus, as well as to cover the exposed parts of the lengthened hind legs as well as that of the tail. And after the sculpting details, if you're happy already with your sculpt, you can now let it sit to cure for around 6 to 10 hours. And after that, you can actually wet sanded and then painted with a primer. We actually used Bosley number 68 in gray primer. So once that is all actually dried already, we're ready to paint, and we're using some acrylics, water, and of course some brushes. For the initial color of our Chialingosaurus, it's actually a basic color of teal plus a little bit of green and some more blues. We added some white to this one, and we're painting it on the entire body of the Chialingosaurus. So I used here several coats of paint on this one so that it's all uniform, and there are no spots of gray that is seen on this figure. In between, I dry up with a hair dryer so that it won't get messy when we are already starting on the second coat of paint. So using the colors that we have initially, we added some more white to it and a little bit more of the yellow ochre, and we're adding it, or we're painting the lower sections or the underbelly of the Chialingosaurus. The underside of the neck is also painted with the same color. So we use again 2 to 3 coats of this one, and then let it dry. Now it's time for some details. So with some more yellows and also a little bit more white to it, we added. We're now going to use this as the paint on the scales of the Chialingosaurus. So the scales are actually located on the neck section, the back, a little bit on the head, and also some of these on the tail section. Now for the forelegs. The forelegs is actually a mix of yellow with the same colors that we have. We don't want it to be really, far from the colors that is initially painted on, like that of the Mattel figure. It's so, disjointed in many ways. So we still wanted it to have that greenish tinge to it. So we just added some more yellows to the existing colors that we have, and we're painting that on the leg of this figure. Now Now to add in that touch of highlight, this is just pure yellow ochre, and we're painting it as scales on the figure. Once we have this, we let it dry for a few minutes with a hair dryer, and then we're off to the next color. And now it's time for us to paint the plates on the Chialingosaurus. So this is the same colors that we had initially on the body, but we added in some more pine green and a little bit of black. So this is the one that we'll be using on all the plates, so except for those of the Tagomizers, of course. We're going to add in a little bit of detailing on the plates as well by adding these lighter colors on the inner sections of the plates. We're going to paint the Tagomizers as well as that of the eyes, the legs, the nails, and also those spikes on the shoulder areas of our Chialingosaurus. This is a mixture of white and a little bit of yellow ochre. And that's it for the making of Chialingosaurus. I hope you guys enjoyed this one and learned something from it as well. We can now move on with the next portion of this video, the Get This PC Contest winners announcements. And of course, we have 10 lucky picks, and here they are: Infernosaurus, Casuvo, Aloe 10, Swollen Head, J. Oliver, DSBL, Mesozoic Park, Ariel Martinez, Custom Animator TV, Jeffzilla. Congratulations everyone, and now for top 10 winners.
Top 10,
Mr. Dino,
Top 9,
Juan Kia,
Top 8,
Marcus Kwok,
Top 7,
Aiden Stevenson,
Top 6,
Victor Gabriel,
Top 5,
Green Fury the Allosaurus Paganus,
Top 4,
Rexy at Bricks,
Top 3,
Cretaceous Bricks,
Top 2,
Mr. T-Rex,
Top 1.
and Lance Gaming. Congratulations everyone! And I'll see you on the next Business PC contest. For those of you who would like to join, here's how. Just click on the Extinct Bricks icon and it will lead you to the Extinct Bricks homepage. Just click on that, come into it, and it will lead you to all my posts. I'll see you there everyone! And now for some bricks. Okay, so let's count down the number of parts for this one. 1, 2, oops, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 parts to this. First, let's connect the head with the neck. There we go. Let's connect this one to the body. Let's connect the tail. Now let's connect the limbs. Let's start with the forelegs. Left. Right. Right hind leg. Left. And that completes our Jurassic World Chialingosaurus. And now for some Extinct Bricks Dino Trivia. Chialingosaurus' name means chill young lizard. They lived during the late Cretaceous period 160 million years ago in the Sichuan province of China. And we're back, and you can see here that Ibi is really happy to see his Chialingosaurus added to our collection. He'll be coming back later for some size comparison, so let's take a closer look on this one. So our Chialingosaurus actually is a smaller stegosaurus. As you can see here, I added several more details to it. I know the Mattel Chialingosaurus doesn't have a lot of details in terms of the painting, as most of Mattel figures actually is. However, the scope on Mattel is really awesome. So the distinguishing characteristics of Chialingosaurus is actually the plates as well as the antagonizers on the ends of its tail. So let's go through it, right? So the plates on the back actually is situated horizontal along this and becomes more vertical as it goes towards the back, like so. As with the antagonizers are actually also more horizontal, like so. And you can see here that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs of antagonizers on the tail. It also sports here a small spike on the shoulder, so not as big as that of Testosaurus. The size of the Chialingosaurus is actually the size of that of a Tetrosaurus, and we'll see a one-on-one comparison between the two later on in the size comparisons. So as per articulation, this figure can actually have articulation on the head area, so it can look up, it can look down, the neck area, up and down. So when it's drinking, of course, the legs are also articulated, and of course, tail is can be twisted like so. So you can have a variety of poses if you want, like so. And that's it for the closer look of our Chialingosaurus. And EB is back here for some size comparisons. And let's compare our Chialingosaurus with a human being, as you can see here. So, as with a comparison here, I know our Chialingosaurus is a little bit larger than it's supposed to be, but that's okay. Our base figure for this one is actually perfect for our Chialingosaurus. So we didn't have to adjust so much. So Jurassic World does make dinosaurs a little bit larger than they are. Alright, so let's compare with other dinosaurs, but first let's compare with one of the latest videos that the Toy Universe has created. It's the Dinosaurus. So here it is. It's so colorful and it's so cute. Look at that face. Look at that horn. It's so big. And the painting is quite unique. It reminds me of a tribal this is the shield of the tribal of the tribe warrior, and then of course this is the zebra. So it's really good, guys. So if you haven't checked this video yet on the Toy Universe channel, please check it out. Okay, so let's move on with the comparisons of other stegosaurs. Let's compare theirs first with our Tetrosaurus. So our Tetrosaurus here is actually somehow a remake. No, it's not a remake, but I upgraded it a bit to make the neck region a little bit thicker than it was initially. So here's a photo in comparison. Also, I have painted it a little differently than it was initially painted. I replaced some of the plates here, and some of the broken spikes were also replaced. So comparing it in terms of size with our Chialingosaurus, definitely our Chialingosaurus and our Tetrosaurus are just the same in terms of size. However, the differences, as I've said earlier on, would actually highly depend on the plates as well as the tagomizers, and also those spikes on the shoulders. Alright, so let's compare with another smaller stegosaur. This is Pteranodon. And so our Pteranodon is actually one of the well, actually the second smaller stegosaur that I made. You can see that it's almost all spikes. However, technically those are not spikes on the front end of the back. Those are still plates, although they're really thin, so it looks like spikes. So take a look at the how I actually painted this one. It's really cool. So check this one, guys. I think you're going to like how I actually made this. Alright, so let's move on with another stegosaur. This is the LYKA. LYKA actually has one of the longest necks of any stegosaurian, as you can see here. It's also larger than our Chialingosaurus. However, it is much smaller than our Stegosaurus. So look at it. It's actually based off from the Jurassic World Alive LYKA. Colors of dark brown and then of course gold. Now let's move on to another stegosaur, a large one as well. This is the Quialingosauris. This Quialingosauris is based off from the Jurassic World game Quialingosauris. So it actually reminds me of the flag of Africa. So the same colors as you can see on the plates. So this is actually one of my earlier earlier creations of the stegosaurus. As you can see here, this is actually a remake of my previous stegosaur. Okay, so let's move on to another one, and this is the largest of all stegosaurs. This is our Stegosaurus. The Stegosaurus is mainly based off from the Lost World Stegosaurus. It's also very similar to the Stegosaurus of Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. So we actually have two Jurassic Park Operation Genesis Stegosaurus. Of course, the Stegosaurus as well as the Ankylosaurus of Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. I love that game. I don't know if you guys have actually played that, but it's one of the pioneer games or park games for Jurassic Park. Okay, so that's it for the size comparisons. Now it's time for us to have Stinkrex species roll call. And you can see here all of the creatures that you've seen so far here on this video. If you guys have other species, some stegosaurs that you'd like to request here on this channel, please comment them down below. I don't bite. I actually read your comments, and if I think that those are actually good species that is actually one that can be added to my collection, then those will be added. Alright? Okay, so also Amy here would like to remind you guys that all the creatures that you see here are available in our Extinct Breeds playlist, as well as Ibito Universe. But I'll be placing in individual links to each and every species here so that you won't have to look for them. We will be placing it in the description box below. Alright, so let's go for our Extinct Breeds roll call. This is the Extinct Breeds Jurassic Park The Lost World Stegosaurus. This is Extinct Breeds Jurassic World The Game Quialingosauris. Extinct Breeds Pteranodon. This is the Extinct Breeds Jurassic World Alive LYKA. This is the Extinct Breeds Jurassic Park Operation Genesis Cantrosaurus. This is the Toy Universe Jurassic World game, level up or max level Iniosaurus. And of course, to start the show here, this is our Jurassic World Mattel Chialingosaurus. And that ends our video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did. I'll be placing in additional photos as well as video clips of our Chialingosaurus until the end of the video, so stay tuned, guys, until the end of the Evie's making friends with this cute Chialingosaurus. Look at those tagomizers. Awesome. Well, that's it for our video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And of course, thank you so much for all your support, guys. Your comments, your likes, and your sharing of all my videos really mean the world to me. So thank you, and maraming salamat. Also, please don't forget to support our other channels, Toy Universe and the Adventures of Moira and Asher. Please watch their videos and support their channel by subscribing. And as we always would say, let your inner dino break roar! Thanks everyone, and bye!